And welcome back to DG Trades. Of course, this is all what we want to call it edutainment. So it's education and entertainment. Those of you following along with me on this trade, make sure that you realize to get a financial advisor before you get involved in anything. Do not listen to me. All right. Do we have the disclaimer out? Great. Now, this is a move in AMP that is very encouraging to me. I'm seeing it break this trend line up top, this bearish trend line that's in pink here from June. It is the only bearish trend line in AMP's way right now. There has been a lot of price action in play in this wedge. We talked about that on the prior video. We talked about the cream FUD, which is the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. We talked about the China Evergrande FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt from China. We circled those areas where there was some price action and volatility to the downside that was really just unjustified, if you ask me. The Evergrande FUD with China, of course, China also prints money just like America to bail themselves out and keep the Ponzi scheme going. For those people that think crypto is a Ponzi scheme, I laugh, because really the biggest Ponzi scheme in the world is the fiat-based systems with the government. That is a Ponzi scheme in itself. And with crypto and with a lot of DeFi, but not all of it, plenty of Ponzi schemes out there. But with cryptocurrency that has amazing backers and developers and people that design true good blockchain that has utility, there can be no misconceptions in terms of trust, because it is a ledger that is out there for everyone to see. It cannot be hacked. It cannot be cheated on. It is there. And this is a new type of wealth generation that the world has not seen. It's an evolution in wealth generation for people that are getting involved long term. I think we are at the very beginning, the ground zero, the foundation of a new financial system. Just as if we go back to the 90s, talking about the way that the internet was created, now we're seeing the financial system, an evolution of it. We've been going off of an old banking legacy system for so long. Anyway, that's another video. Let's talk about AMP and the technicals. I do see a daily candle here. If this closes above this bearish trend line, I could see some upwards movement. And I do see a slight double bottom right here. It looks like, you know, we found the support where I was thinking that we would get the support at. I am moving my stop up now from 0.034 to 0.0365 perhaps. So that's what you do as a trader. You move your stops up if you see the price action going the way that you want it to go. I do think our first stop up, if this candlestick can close above this bearish wedge here, this bearish trend line going down, if that candlestick can close significantly above that line, that is great. We're seeing the pattern play out. We're seeing it going to end within a day or two. If we do end up over this bearish trend line, that is hugely positive in my opinion for AMP. I do see us stopping up around this area here, which is the first level of resistance that I really see, which is 0.061. A lot of people got scared and they sold here. But again, if you had your stops and you just let it play out, you just watched it. Big news: Jerome Powell, Fed chair, says he has no intention of banning crypto. That's amazing. You know, of course he would say something of that nature when China bans everything. China's banning shoelaces tomorrow. China's banning toothbrushes. China's banning, you know, what is next that China's going to ban? Colors, certain crayons. Whatever China's banning, I want to get involved on the opposite side of that trade, because it seems as if China's going to ban things, those things then become valuable. You know, he's no dummy. He realizes it, and he's like, you know, we'll embrace it. It's fine. We're America. You know, America does still do some things correct. You know, but, you know, the Fed chair saying, you know, he has no intention to ban them. He says that they are going to be looking at stable coins more closely because, of course, he's worried about the bond market. He's worried about his own stable coins, which are bonds, which, you know, so, you know, they're going to look at stable coins. They're going to crack down on that. You might get some fear. You might get some FUD on that, fear, uncertainty, and doubt on that. They might go after, you know, stable coins that are paying out these essentially returns, and they're going to probably hit them. They're going to probably hit stable coins pretty hard. So that might do something with Bitcoin. But for now, I think that's why we see Bitcoin do. We saw a lot of movement with Bitcoin down here at 40,000. Why am I looking at Bitcoin and not AMP? Because AMP moves along with Bitcoin. Most coins move along with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is OG. Bitcoin is Big Daddy. And what Bitcoin does, a lot of these coins mimic. So Bitcoin is very important to watch. So we see a lot of support here at 40,000. It was getting scary. You know, it was testing 40,000 and 40,000. Here we see a descending triangle. We do see a break on Bitcoin. You see it breaking above right there, above this descending bear trend line right here. You see a break here. It'll probably test it. It'll probably come back down and test it. Be very wary. Watch it. If you have your stop set with AMP, no worries. You know what you're going to lose. Just set your stops. You'll be fine. And I'm hoping we continue this up movement. I mean, it significantly tested 40,000 quite a few times. It seems like to me that 40,000 is the floor. So traders are going to look at that. They're going to see the action at 40,000. They're going to see they couldn't break it. And I think since we're breaking this descending this descending triangle to the upside, unless we get some crazy reversal after I post this, I think we'll continue to see price action move up, which is hugely positive for AMP. If you guys see this initial pink trend line that I've drawn here from the ICO of AMP, every time price action gets around this initial bullish trend line here, you see crazy volatility. When it hits this trend line, boom, straight up, comes down, test, boom, down. It hits it, boom, straight up. So there's this usually explosive volatility to the upside or downside when it hits this line. And I am looking for that at around right now 6.0658 thereabouts. Maybe in a day or two it'll be 0.0666. What? Whoa, that's a little bit interesting. So so if this thing hits this line, I really think as long as the trajectory is still up, then you could see pretty explosive move up. There are a lot of sellers up here around the 9-10 cent, even 8 to 10 cent area. So just be careful. Maybe you want to stage out of this in stages. Totally, again, up to you guys. I do have my stop gains set. I think around like first one I have like a quarter of my position, leaving it around 6.5 cents. Then I got one set at 8. Then I got one set at 10, and then I think I have one set at 12, and that'll close me out of the trade. This is a short-term move for me. I think long-term, AMP does have a lot of potential as a collateral token. Also, great news from AMP, the governance, the people that are developing it, putting out a vote to the community, to those that own AMP coin, to vote on helping people reimburse them for some, I think it was some transactional reimbursement for old original owners of FlexiCoin. So if you guys aren't aware, the Flexa payment network that is being run, the AMP coin is a collateral token based to directly support this payment system. There is a lot of utility to this AMP token. You can stake AMP, get AMP in return. I think it's currently set at 0.038%. When you stake AMP, is it worth it? Depends upon how much AMP you have and how long you're in for. If you're in for years, and this is a type of coin, in my opinion, that you're going to, if you're a long-term investor, that's probably a smart strategy. But like for me, I just love the fact that I think we're going to at least get like a 2-time out of this. And again, just play this smart. Hopefully this candle does finish above this bearish trend line here. And if it does, I think that completes this pattern, and we're going to start seeing movement to the upside like we've been wanting to for AMP for a very, very long time. And let us just, pray to the crypto gods that Bitcoin continues its movement up. I think that what Fed chairman said about no intention of banning crypto is amazingly positive for the crypto market. Some people will tell you that these stories, these events have no effect on price action, that if you just go by the chart and just the chart only, that that generally speaks for itself. And some people are saying if you go by the chart that you're just going to see this go down somewhere around 19, anywhere from 9,000 to 19,000 on Bitcoin. We know that there's that volatility in it. Don't take any money into this that you're not willing to lose. It should all be discretionary money. Personally, my belief is that we are going to continue this bull trend up, and that. But hey, again, it comes down to belief. It comes down to the big picture and what you see, but it also has to do a lot about timing. So just make sure you set your stops. You set your stops, you will be fine. Know the trade before you get into it. Know what you're going to lose. Know what you're going to make. And boy, that takes the emotion right out. That's a tip here for me. DG Trades. Think we're going to see a nice move on AMP. I could post this video and everything reverses. This is the beauty of crypto. You got to love it. I love, we're down below 5 cents now. We will see what happens. I just wanted to update you guys on this trade because this is a very important thing happening right now, currently, as I am making this video for you. And I wanted to talk it through with you. Let's hope it can stay above this. Let's hope it probably might come down and test a little bit. It could. But I have that stop set it. Now I'm setting that stop at 0.03. Let's see here. 65. I moved it up from 0.0364. So I'm losing less. And that's how I trade. So now I'm losing less. I just take the worst common denominator and say, okay, what did I lose? When I get in any trade, I say I lost this money. Every time I get in a trade. I know it's crazy to think that way, but that's what I do. So I go in the trade and I say to myself, like, here's what I lost. I'm like, here's what I threw away, right? But I set myself up for that because I want myself to realize when I get in these things that I've just pretty much lost it. So when I lose less because I'm looking at a trade and through technical analysis, I'm like, hey, this is a nice setup. If it does actually go the way that I wanted to go or envisioned to go, then I can then I can move up that stop loss, and then I can say, oh, well, I lost less. Now I didn't lose so much. Now I didn't lose so much. And if it moves up and up, keep moving that stop loss up, and I'm like, hey, now I'm break even. Now I really didn't even lose anything. If it keeps on moving up, I'm like, oh, I made a little money. You just keep moving that stop loss up. And you use technical analysis to get you to the point where you actually are making money on more trades than losing. And that's what we're about here on DG Trades. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was informative for you. We'll keep on doing videos. We'll keep on tracking AMP for you. We'll keep on tracking this trade for you as we go. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of this community. I could look at some other cryptos for you guys if I have the time. I did notice on the last video that there were a couple people asking me about other types of cryptos. I hope I answered your questions. The only one I did not get to was Richard Harrison, who asked me to look into CTX. I will check that out for you, Richard. Apologies that I did not do that ahead of time. Some people were asking me about Alchemy, which I think is a pretty nice play as well. This is kind of like the China play on AMP. The antithesis, like taking the China trade. I personally, I like the Flexa network. I like the Winklevoss twins are in it. I like that it's a collateral token. It has utility to it. And I think that it's completely undervalued here. I think if you get in under 5 cents, I consider that a screaming buy. Even at 5 cents, it's completely undervalued. Like, that is just completely undervalued coin. It's one of the most undervalued coins and not talked about coins out there. The tokenomics, not so great. There is a lot of AMP. Okay, there is a lot of AMP, but I like what it's doing. I like the utility of it. I like the people behind it. The Winklevoss twins almost giving it a stamp, an endorsement of sorts. Through partnership with Gemini. And I'm just telling you, I really think that, everything for me, it just seems like a no-brainer. It just seems like a no-brainer to be in it. So anyhow, guys, let's just keep tracking it. Good luck to us all that are involved in it. And like I said, disclaimer, get your own financial advisor. If you really want to look at this and you just don't know what to do, listen, I'm just a dude who's trading. I'm doing my thing. You do you. You make your own choices. You're an adult. If you are going to trade, just trade responsibly. Set your stops. Know what you're going to lose. Know what you're going to gain. All right, everybody. Have a good day. I'll see you on the next vid.